Hi friends, today I have the honor and pleasure of having with me Dr. Dibyajyati Nandi. He is rank 13 in the psychiatry section in this NIMHANS. He is a proud DAM student. He has done his regular course with us and followed it up with the NIMHANS crash course. Heartiest congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Because of this rank that I have gotten this time, I feel very confident. I feel great and highly thankful and eternally thankful to DAMS for all the support that I have gotten from DAMS and the amazing faculty that have supported me throughout. And the NIMHANS crash course was completely, what can I say, it was out of this world. We all got coaching in all the different aspects of neurology, psychiatry, neurosurgery, everything that can be expected to come in NIMHANS. And in this crash course, Dr. Sachin Arora was the guiding light, as well as you, sir. And Dr. Sachin Arora, he kept on guiding us every day. Even when the other teachers came to teach us the other subjects other than psychiatry, he would also pop up sometimes during our research sessions. And he would also tell us that how we should prepare for non-neuro subjects and how we should prepare for the psychiatry as well as the neuro subjects other than psychiatry. And moreover, the thing is that I've also done my regular course on DAMS, which has helped me for the common paper. And in neurosurgery, we had Dr. Shobhit Singh, who is one of our proud Damsonions who come from the very center that I've studied the NIMHANS crash course in. He's from Calcutta and he taught us neurosurgery. Dr. Raj Mukumbe was awesome. He taught us in such beautiful formats the beautiful diagrams that he drew for us, and the way, like the ones about the internal capsule. I don't think it's given in any book, in any guidebook or in any textbook, the way he has described that internal capsule for us, as well as the entire broad prospect of neurology. And he even showed us all the clinical examination points, and the amazing way he even described aphasias with us, which during the regular course was not covered in the same extent that it was covered to in the NIMHANS crash course. Over the NIMHANS crash course, I would say that I would recommend it to all foundation and pre-foundation students because of the fact that it covers a lot of MCQs that can come in NIMS, it can cover a lot of MCQs that can come in JICMAT, as well as PGI and surely NEET. And the thing is that it doesn't want, and even the fact that neurosurgery, people might think it's a bit off topic, but even in NIMS they've asked neurosurgery questions about burr holes, and all that stuff is completely and immaculately described, and and it will solve all the controversies, it will solve all the questions that you might have. The entire crash course is taught in a very unhurried way, and you have ample time to discuss with the teachers. They're all supportive and they will never turn the chat box off, and you can post all your questions there, and they will, no matter how much time it takes, they will address each and every single doubt that you have. And in case of NIMHANS, this time it was, I can say, a pretty moderate paper. The questions weren't that difficult. It was a scoring paper, and more or less everything from neuro came from DAMS, and the non-neuro topics which I had studied for in the regular course, all of those surely came to help. And pretty much that's it about the NIMHANS crash course, and also the study material that we got with it. The two MCQ books, they deal with MCQs that may be at a higher level than what we expect in NEET or in the other subjects, but the MCQs with their explanations are given in these books, which we have to point out. And these explanations also describe the controversies that may take place when we try to compare criteria of DSM-4 or DSM-5 as well as ICD-10. Everything is described, even the topics that might not have been completely covered during the written notes were all provided to us along with the NIMHANS crash course. And the material that we've gotten, the theory material, the 3 NIMHANS books that we got from DAMS, the non-clinical part and clinical part 1 and clinical 2, all 3 of these books have ample neuro revision topics, and even all the new topics that might be even asked in NIMS, like the part 3 step test. Everything is described in a simple, lucid manner, where we can easily recall it by using simple language. It's not described in the way that you might find in Adams or Bell's neurology or Dijon's neurology. It's written in a way that MBBS students will be able to read and be able to reproduce properly in the notes. Everything is highlighted in black, the ones that are possible MCQs, and this time I like the fact that it's even been produced in color, full color, all of the topics, even the important pictures that we might get with correlations from the major books that we might be asked about in NIMHANS. All these things that have been described very well. And also I'm proud of the fact that I first joined, I have studied from Dibyajyati Medical College, Kolhapur. I was a bit humble when I joined DAMS. There were so many good students surrounding me. They were answering better than me, and I thought that how can I keep up? But the constant dedication as well as support from the DAMS teachers, all that we got, had taught me that I can strive further. And I feel confident in the fact that this 1 year that I studied in DAMS, it has really helped me out a lot. I can say it helps me make a justice to my profession. And because I was not opting for any private college this time, I wanted to get into a good government college, and I had no expectations that I would get this rank in a central institute. And thanks to Dr. Sumir as well as Dr. Sachin, they've all been exquisite the entire way. And I got a modest rank in NEET because I had joined DAMS a bit late, at around April, and that this was the first time that I was actually doing any MCQs. I had done a few while I was in internship, but this was the first time. And the proper systematic, programmatic way that the MCQs were taught to us, each of the notes that we have been writing down in these DAMS regular classes, the lines of these notes contain MCQs, each and every word, in between the lines as well as on the lines. And and each and every sentence which is written there will clear your theoretical knowledge as well as your knowledge of what important topics there might be that may be coming from MCQs in any of these exams. After you read your DAMS notes, I'm sure that if you've read them thoroughly, that if you open any of the previous exam question papers of AIMS, you will be able to solve them without any hassle. The notes are written in that way. And the few off-topic things, we can obviously some things will be asked in all these in any competitive exam. Some of these may be new, but that's expected, and not many people are able to answer that. But all the things that are obviously important for our preparation, all that will be addressed in DAMS, in the regular course as well as the NIMHANS course. And I'm also thankful to in what I described, the 3 P's of DAMS. Pathology taught by Dr. Sanjeev Chitragat. He was awesome. I'd say that he is the best pathology teacher in India, and I would say maybe the world, because he's passed out from AIMS. The editor of Robbins is also from AIMS, so why not? And I'd say that
he's very beautiful teacher.
Yes, sir.
He makes things come alive.
Exactly, sir. Even the integrated topics that you and Dr. Sanjeev Chitragat talked about, the brain tumors on YouTube videos, all of them were awesome, really. And also, I'd say for the next PSM, Dr. Rajiv Shetty, when he came to Calcutta, I'll say he rocked our center in Mahindra Manch, because, and everybody was saying it, he was very serious about teaching, and he kept us on our toes. Even the students who might falter at some point, he kept us on our toes, and I've never enjoyed studying PSM in that way. All numericals are taught by DAMS in the best way possible, and these numericals, none of the numericals that came in NEET were not from the DAMS. Or means basically I'm saying that everything that came in NEET in PSM is from the DAMS NEETs this time. And I want to thank Dr. Rajiv Shetty for that. It was the best live class that I've seen in DAMS. And in PSM, I've never enjoyed studying it so well. And the last P obviously is psychiatry. Dr. Sachin Arora, he taught us so well. He taught in a way that undergraduates can practically understand psychiatry. Someone who might not have gotten a proper exposure in their OPD or their MBBS internship, if after attending Dr. Sachin Arora's class, I think that they will never have any difficulty in diagnosing the most major and common different psychiatric diseases that they might see in their OPD. And this class that Dr. Sachin Arora takes for us, he taught us 3 different things in ways where we can practically focus on our notes. He told us 3 things. One was maintain eye contact with the notes. We don't look here and there like some of us might look and ruin our concentration. And the other thing is read fast, because this is a competitive exam. Everybody is in India is studying, and moreover you have to remember that since it's a competitive exam, it's not only the amount of hard work you put in, it's about how much hard work others are also putting in at the same time. So if you're not reading fast, you won't be able to complete all the things or at least revise as many times which you need to. And after that, the last thing is visual integration. The DAMS DBT which was there, as well as all the images which I never thought that we could relate psychiatry with images. Dr. Sachin Arora started from brain CTs, as well as the different movie clips that he even showed us on how to diagnose the different psychiatric disorders, like obsessive compulsive disorder. He showed us a clip from a movie and everything. All that stuff really helped out in the end. And this is the best way of teaching that I can say is possible for psychiatry. And he also told us at the end of the class, you will never forget this class that I have taken in psychiatry, and surely I have never forgotten, and any of my friends who attended this class have not forgotten. And sir, you're also a guiding light for us. Surely, I saw all your videos, your motivational videos. I obviously did attend your class when it was the first class I attended when I joined DAMS, and it was very good. So many topics were covered from each and every specialty, surgery, medicine, you name it. Everything was there, even gynecology, pediatrics, everything. It gives you a broad, some people think that radiology is a minor subject in these competitive exams. You have to remember that each and every disease has something related to radiology, whether it be surgery or whether it be medicine. Everything is related, and when you read about the radiological science, you get a brief knowledge about the anatomy as well as the physiology as well as the pathology related to that disease. So everything comes as a part and parcel of that, because radiology is that important to our preparation. We just can't neglect any of the subjects that we think are short, but actually they're actually more important as compared to any of these subjects. And also, sir, all of these things are there, as well as also the thing in any of the exams that I've given so far, none has come which is not from our notes. Everything from JIPMER, AIMS, as well as this, I didn't miss a single MCQ that was not from our notes. I don't think that any book or any guidebook that we might want to refer to will cover everything in such an important and high-yielding way. Because you can read a lot, but you'd work a lot, but in the end you would manage very little out of all the stuff that you've read, because you won't know which parts are important. You might read Williams, you might read the other gynecology books, but in the end you won't know which parts are important. And I'm also very glad that DAMS has also brought up this Harrison's special class, and the Harrison's class was a very important class, because a lot of questions these days are coming from Harrison, and most of the students want to study Harrison's also. So DAMS effort to shorten and prioritize parts of Harrison's for us is a very good step, and a process that everyone will appreciate. And I also appreciate fully of how Harrison's has helped us out, and also the different tables which we might also see are important are given in a concise book called DAMS Harrison Notes, and those Harrison Notes and a separate class for important topics in Harrison's all that will teach us which parts we need to focus on, and it's actually not that difficult to study that small amount of important points and high-yielding points that Dams might point out. And it will also prevent people from studying Harrison's too much and reading stuff that won't come in the exams. So, sir, this I would say that is my.
I think you comprehensively covered everything, and I'm also proud of your achievement.
Thank you, sir.
And I also want now you to answer a point which a lot of people would be wanting to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Like you graduated from our private medical college,
Yes, sir.
and you started a little later.
Yes, sir.
And because I particularly I wanted to stress on this point right now, because a lot of people would be in similar boat.
Yes, sir.
And they will be asking the same question, that will they be able to do, can they do as administration? So what is the message that you want to give to people who are starting a little late and who have graduated in a college where the focus was not so much on this kind of study? So
Yes, sir.
what do you want to tell them?
I want to tell them, it is your attitude, not your aptitude, that will decide the magnitude of your attitude. This is the way I can put it. And also, no matter where you've studied from, whether it's a private college or a peripheral private college or a peripheral government college, anyone can achieve these if they maintain their faith in Dams, and if they won't be fickle-minded, they will keep their faith in Dams. They won't look to any other places of reference, because there's no other institute that can help us out like Dams does. All the teachers are accessible, all the teachers are willing to help, they always answer us. And also I'm also interested in this talking CRS class that I heard about yesterday. I think that would be a pretty good thing. And moreover, I would also tell everyone that they should keep their Dams priorities even after they've gotten to a postgraduate college, because everything will help them out in even the super specialty topics that Dams is also starting now. Is the best education that I have gotten up till date, and I never will regret the decision that I did in joining Dams. And I have complete faith in Dams, and I will tell all my juniors to keep their faith in Dams. And I would say that don't deviate from Dams, because that's the only thing that anyone should focus on in that 1 year of time that they get post internship. Because as you grow older, your interest in giving the Central Institute exams and giving the NEET exams will also happen at the cost of declining your interest to give these exams, and you'll be getting older and older, and you would not be getting a PG seat, and that's what would happen. You need to avoid that. And moreover, just because I've done it in the second attempt, it doesn't mean that you have to do it in the second attempt. The first attempt is best. And I was unfortunate that I didn't have a Dams foundation class where I studied from. The only Dams class that was there, it was 8 hours away from where my college was. Hence, I didn't get that thing. And you should obviously opt for a pre-foundation course and start your postgraduate preparation from early on. And this rank that I've gotten in NIMHANS, it has given me confidence about studying for all the other exams that are coming up, and moreover, I'm honing my preparations from the previous experience, and I've been doing the Dams T&D along with NIMHANS crash course, and combined, I've seen the results that I've gotten, because the cumulative amount of time you spend in Dams will lead to a better result than just studying 1 year or doing or joining late. Because the thing is that even though Dams covered everything properly, since I joined late, and I didn't join in the January batch, I joined in the March batch, and that to April. I missed two classes, and I had to make up for that in mid-September. And the NEET exams were coming up, and the AIMS exams were coming up, and I had to rush. But obviously, I did not get the rank. I did get a rank. I got it on 12,000. But the thing is that since I kept on, I did not deviate from Dams. I got to where I am today, and I hope that I can do better in the exams that are coming up.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. And I'm sure that that his journey has taught us a lot of things, and a lot of things that my future aspirant would look up to. And what he says, and what I would put in a nutshell is that starting early would be a benefit that he feels that, you know, when he looks back today, he feels if he could have started early, he could have helped him even more. And second thing that he says is that, you know, have faith in the system that you're following, which is very important, because I feel sometimes what happens is today the biggest challenge we have in India is not paucity of material for competitive exam, it is plethora of material. There's so much material being published, you know, recklessly by so many people, that what will happen is if you try to do everything available, it would backfire. And so we are very proud of his achievement, and we actually wish him best for his future exams as well. He is wanting to go further now after this rank of 13 rank in NIMHANS, which is an awesome rank in a central issue, and I'm sure he will do well in life. From on behalf of the entire DAMS team, DAMS curriculum team as well, I wish him all the best, and I'm sure, you know, we will see more of him in future. I also want to take this opportunity to personally congratulate his parents, because it is their efforts as well as, you know, because as a teacher I know the contribution that the parents do. I wish him all the best, heartiest congratulations also. Congratulations.